In July 2026, a dinosaur sold for more money than most people will ever see. $50,130,000 to be exact. His name was Gus, and he just became the most expensive dinosaur ever sold. But this story isn't just about money. It's about a real animal and a real controversy. 67 million years ago, Gus was alive. Today, he's at the center of a heated debate. Let's look at exactly what made this sale so record-breaking and so controversial. Gus lived during the very last days of the dinosaurs, around 67 million years ago. He was discovered in 2021 on a ranch in South Dakota owned by Gary Licking. For years, Licking had quietly found scattered teeth and bone fragments on his land. Eventually, a full excavation revealed something remarkable: one of the most complete T-Rex skeletons ever found. Gus stretched 38 feet long and stood 12.5 feet tall. His skull alone measured 54 inches, one of the largest T-Rex skulls ever recovered. About 61% of his skeleton survived, an exceptional level of completeness for a dinosaur this old. Rare parts survived too: a complete wishbone, a complete pelvis, and both feet almost fully intact. Only one other known T-Rex skeleton has both feet this well preserved. Gus's bones also told a story of real survival, not just size. Several ribs showed fractures that had already healed before he died. His skull even carried bite marks, evidence of violent encounters with other predators. This wasn't a peaceful animal. Gus lived, fought, and survived in a genuinely brutal world. Those healed injuries are exactly why scientists found him so scientifically valuable. On July 14, 2026, Gus went up for auction at Sotheby's in New York City. Sotheby's had estimated he would sell for somewhere between $20 and $30 million. That estimate turned out to be far too modest for what actually happened next. 7 separate bidders competed fiercely, driving the price higher and higher. After about 10 minutes of intense bidding, the hammer finally came down at $43 million. With fees included, the final total reached $50,130,000. That made Gus the single most expensive dinosaur fossil ever sold at auction. The winning bidder chose to remain completely anonymous, identity never publicly revealed. To this day, nobody knows exactly who now owns Gus, or where he actually is. That uncertainty is exactly what sparked such a heated reaction from the scientific community. Gus wasn't the first dinosaur to sell for a record-breaking price. In 1997, a T-Rex named Sue became the first dinosaur ever sold at auction. Sue remains the gold standard of completeness, at 90% of her skeleton intact. In 2020, a T-Rex named Stan sold for $31.8 million. Stan later vanished from public view for nearly 2 years after his sale. A National Geographic reporter eventually tracked him down, finally locating where he'd gone. Then, in 2024, a Stegosaurus named Apex sold for $44.6 million. Gus's sale finally broke that record, but not everyone was celebrating. Several major natural history museums, including the Smithsonian, confirmed they hadn't bid at all. $50 million is simply far beyond what most public museums can ever afford. That means Gus likely won't be studied by scientists or displayed publicly anytime soon. One paleontologist argued that auction houses are quietly removing data from scientific research. Fossils like Gus can reveal genuine insights about how dinosaurs grew, healed, and behaved. Once locked away in private hands, that scientific information can become permanently unavailable. This isn't a hypothetical concern either. It's already happened before with other rare fossils. A privately owned Archaeopteryx fossil, one of only 14 ever found, was eventually lost entirely. That's the exact fear driving concern over Gus's uncertain future today. Nobody knows if Gus will vanish too, or eventually resurface somewhere public. This sale reflects something bigger happening in the world of fossil collecting. Dinosaur fossils have quietly become one of the fastest-growing collectible markets in the world. Wealthy buyers increasingly treat rare fossils the way they once treated fine art. Some purchases end up generously loaned to museums, as happened with the Stegosaurus apex. Others disappear entirely from public view, tucked away in private collections. That uncertainty is exactly why scientists are watching Gus's story so closely. Whatever happens next, Gus has already changed the market for dinosaur fossils forever. A 67-million-year-old predator just became one of the most valuable objects on Earth. It helps to understand just how rare a discovery like Gus actually is. Most dinosaur fossils are found as scattered fragments, not full connected skeletons. Finding even half of a T-Rex skeleton in one place is considered extraordinarily lucky. That rarity is a huge part of why fossils like Gus command such enormous prices. Excavating a specimen this size also takes years of careful, expensive fieldwork. Every bone must be documented, stabilized, and transported without causing further damage. That entire process alone can cost excavation teams staggering amounts of money and time. So part of Gus's final price simply reflects the sheer cost of bringing him to light. Still, that doesn't fully resolve the deeper tension between private ownership and public science. Some argue private buyers actually help fund future discoveries by rewarding difficult excavation work. Others argue that science should never depend on the preferences of a single wealthy buyer. There's no easy answer here, just a genuinely difficult trade-off worth understanding. So was this sale a triumph for science or a loss for it? Reasonable people disagree. What's certain is that Gus lived, fought, survived injuries, and left behind an incredible record. Whether the world gets to study that record further now depends entirely on one anonymous buyer. That's a strange, modern twist for an animal that ruled the world 67 million years ago. Do you think record-breaking fossil sales like this help or hurt science? Let us know. If Gus's story fascinated you, subscribe for more real stories where science meets the modern world. $50 million, 67 million years old, and a mystery that's still being written.